iconic ant-bed parrots of Australia are so called for their habit of using termite mounds to use for their nesting. The hooded parrot is found in the Northern Territory. Hooded parrots coming in to drink at a shrinking waterhole in the dry season. They can also be found using water supplied by the sprinklers, particularly in the small township of Pine Creek. The main food source for hoodeds are seeding grass and herbaceous plants. This female feeds off fallen grass stems, with a male in the background. Waterholes are visited not long after sunrise and during the day, particularly when temperatures are high. Early mornings usually bring in larger numbers. One of the threats to hooded parrots and other wildlife is the excessive use of fire by landowners to bring up green shoots for their livestock. However, parrots and finches often forage in these burnt areas. It depends on the severity of the fire, which affects whether seed is available or not. Obviously, ant beds are strategic for these birds to reproduce. The termites use grass to be brought to the mound, which decays into a fungus, which then they feed on. These periods without grass could affect the longevity of the mound. Also, these fires do affect the complex ecosystem, which has now altered the habitat to be overgrown. Shrubs and trees are encroaching on the termite mounds. This increases the threat to hooded parrots. They prefer to nest in more open savanna woodland, and I found in these overgrown areas the nests were not found. However, in more open terrain, like under this power line, I found nests. In northern Australia, the wet season arrives in late October to November and lasts until March or early April. Grass seeds proliferate and hoodeds start to look for nest sites. This male is actually feeding on termites and alternates with the female. While feeding, they are vulnerable to predators such as goshawks, so the partner plays sentinel on top of the mound to warn the bird which is occupied inside the opening. It was apparent while I spent a couple of days at the excavation that both adults were engrossed in feeding, obtaining necessary protein, no doubt. Very little digging was witnessed until the second day when the female did the excavation. If all goes well, we can expect scenes such as these with adult hoodeds and their youngsters. However, don't be fooled by seeing 80+ hooded parrots coming in to drink at a puddle in Pine Creek in the late dry season. Continual, uncontrolled burning off of the rank grass to facilitate feeding cattle has changed their habitat to become overgrown around their nesting termite mounds. Known hooded breeding areas have all suffered. Places I have observed hoodeds in the past just don't have the numbers that I witnessed over the last 40 years. This steady decline is very concerning.